De mare.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the closing ceremony. Mama and Tata here. It is Sunday. It is the 27th. We are Africa Rising. We made it to the end. Well, sort of the end.
Sort of. We still have more. We always have more. Which is why we are Africa Rising.
Just so if you're joining us right now, what we mean is that we have this closing ceremony right now, but there's still a whole day full of sessions going on. So please do check it out. Welcome. Welcome.
As you tune in, take a moment, share this, invite families to come to this ceremony so they know what we're about. They know what they may have missed so far, and also what we have in store. While you're at it, put in the comments, say hello in your language, tell us where you're tuning in from, tell us where you're coming through, and then Alexandra put the calendar out there for you, which is coming from all direction. We still have people again to say we're here with a program until 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means we will keep going. You have what, 3 more panels, a 6T, a kids reading, a special reading, a concert, and that's all. Yeah, we have a concert, a 6T, and 3 panels. That's right, you heard right. 3 panels, which Alexandra will be juggling. And thanks to her, because I am exiting this stage after I send you off with the blessings. That said, as you gather, as we wait for you to gather, Alexandra and I are just going to take a moment to thank some people who have sent so much love, sent so much support, and showed up in ways that we remain very grateful for. Even if it's simply a message to say, we see you, keep doing what you're doing. Or are you getting enough rest? Or scolding us for not getting all the rest. Kat Bento, this is Ketusha, one of our newest Africa Week 2020 family.
Welcome.
She came through thanks to our connection with Sheldon and the Edgepool Foundation. And when I say she came through, she came through. So the longest session in Africa Week 2020 September reunion is thanks to Kat Binto and her fam who came through with the entire Colombo. Well, it's not the entire Colombo. We still have some more, right, Kat? But the fam showed up from the elders to the youngest youngin with all their smiles and all their love. And we're so very grateful to now have family in a new continent. We are growing, we are expanding, we are joining forces. We are so grateful to get their blessings and to see their smiles and to hear their truths and their narratives, and so reaffirmed to see. Also, another thing to celebrate is, and I said this yesterday, Alexandra, you and I keep reminding people that English is not our first language. And just because we're currently communicating in the English language, it is the language of Africa Week 2020. So you are really welcome to come in any language that you speak. We were blessed to have a translator. Kat actually lost her voice, I should say. I hope your voice is okay. For the session ended up being 4.5 hours, for which she translated 3 of them.
Wow.
And I mean, I really have no words, because we were able to communicate without me understanding a word of what was being said. Okay, maybe I understood a word here and there, but really it was the emotions that communicated. And so many times it was said in the session itself, although we don't understand the language, we definitely got the feeling. So we had Imani tune in when the elder, the mother of the Kilombo, was giving the blessing. Oh my God, the energy of that, Alexandra. Imani was like, I don't understand the language. I don't understand what you're saying, but I felt everything you said. And I was like, this is why we're saying. Ali tuned in. He sent us love.
Ali here?
Well, he's not here. I hope he's here. He said he'll be around for the day.
He tuned into Colombo.
No, he tuned in today to this morning's What's Right with Africa. And he's like, oh, I missed this. I was like, okay, there we are. I
was going to ask that question about where's Ali? I haven't seen him all week.
Yes. Well, he said he'll be going back and sharing. And Katusha saying, love language and solidarity. My throat is sored, but I feel blessed for having the honor to be with y'all. Thank you so much, Kat. Thank you. And absolutely, love language did bring us together in solidarity. And just the energy that was shared. Ashe.
I can't wait to watch it.
I was like, should we cut this? But there's really no, I mean, there were a few places that it could have been cut and made into a new video, but the flowing of how that energy went, it was spot on, because Penny started that session. It was supposed to be a discussion connecting the indigenous and Afrocentric fight. And yeah, we just kept building and building. So after that, there was supposed to be a panel for the elders sharing ancestral wisdoms. And after that, there was going to be a session on the pedagogical approach. And it all like came together in a very nice
that's awesome
canvas mosaic. It was beautiful. Thank you again, Kat. Blessings to the family, to the whole Kilombo. And some of the quotes that we got from them was, education is the territory of formation and transformation. That's Yume. Yume, she's a queen in her own right. Every time she spoke, YouTube and Facebook would go up in flames, roaring for Her Majesty. And then we have, a Kilombo is to be present. It's to be here. So fam, if you've missed that, please go watch it. And it was very reaffirming to see that essentially, and in many ways, Africa Week 2020 is a virtual Kilombo, because we are coming together to remind each other of who we are, to empower one another with what we know how to do, and to come together in unity, to come together in our oneness, and to research, rediscover, and reclaim our narratives and our truths. So thank you to all who joined. Thank you to those of you who are still joining. Take a moment, tag your friends, let them know what they've been missing if they haven't been coming here, but also let them know what's going on and what's happening in their name, what's happening for them, for all of us to come together. Also tell us what you feel we've been missing.
Yes, where we can find it.
Yes, tag us. Tag
Africa
us.
Week 2020. Africa Week 2020. Tag it. I'm going to write it right here.
Whatever platform you are on, just tag us. It's the same thing on all social medias at Africa Week 2020. If someone is doing poetry, if someone is singing, if someone is dancing, if someone is researching or innovating some pure genius, tag us. If you feel they need to be featured, if they need a platform, or if they could use our support, tag us wherever it is.
If you think Dima and I would think it's funny, tag us.
If you think we could use the laugh, please.
Tag us everywhere. I want to express gratitude for, platforms like this. For those of you who don't know, because this question comes up all the time, there's no money in this. we put money into it, but nobody makes a dime from this. Well, I should say, people are going to, your workings and your nonprofits and your businesses. So I guess people in that way are making money in that way. But as far as our presenters don't get paid. We do all of this for free. And so the way we can spread the message is by you sharing and liking and commenting and boosting our videos into your personal pages, into your groups, whether they're old videos or new videos, liking our page, tagging us and all of that. And I want to express gratitude to people who have been doing that during this We Are Africa Rising.
She pops up.
Yes, as we're talking about it, one of our biggest supporters, Imani Anita Newsom, who shows up to almost everything that's been streaming, and she comments, and that helps people see the video. And she's commenting in a way that's engaged, like she's really watching what's going on, and she's always sharing. She's sharing our posts, she's sharing our video posts. It's that is how, there is no budget for marketing. So we have to do this together, and it is. When we see people sharing and tagging, it's a practice in what the vision of Africa Week is anyway, which is working together, lifting each other up, building what you're not just helping us, Dima and Alexandra, you're helping Africa Week family, the people whose videos you share, the people they're trying to help. It's much larger than just tagging, share, and giving people some entertainment. It's much bigger than that. We're getting our messages out to the world. Especially since there's a lot of people that come through Africa Week that are being interviewed, whose stories are being told, who wouldn't normally even show up online.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, then on the other side of the world, somebody who's looking for a solution, somebody over here in Latin America has their solution. Somebody who's looking for healing over there in Kenya, see something happening over here in Puerto Rico, and they're like, oh, that was the medicine I needed because you're sharing. So I want to express gratitude for Imani for sharing.
Imani, you're getting the love from the entire family, because yesterday also in our session, Kat was saying that she was just loving Imani's comments because she was so engaged. As I said, Imani was responding to the elders' prayers, even though she didn't know the language. That entire panel, and it was 4.5 hours, she was there for it. Mind you, she had been there from 6 in the morning, because yesterday we started, our first panel was at 6:15. She was there. And this is how we say show up. When love is showing up, this is it. This is how we show up for Mama Africa. This is how we show up for the family when we were creating this space. And we say, that's why in the bios we said, the picture you choose the picture where you are showing up for your family, because that's what you're doing. You're showing up for the family. So
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. So Imani, poetess Kalamu Chate, who I interviewed in a 60 interview, and she came in. She was family that came in through someone who was here before, Mr. Majestic, who was here for our Bambula event last month, who came in through Beto, who we all know Beto now. If you don't know Beto now, where have you been? Okay. And then he did an event with us, and then he brought Mr. Majestic, and Mr. Majestic brought Mabrak and Kalamu Chache, and Kalamu Chache has been sharing about us 3 times a day, like every day. And she's just like, I'm going to promote you to everybody, not just to her friends, but also into groups. Oh my gosh. Nana Sula started sharing even before we started. Please check out her Kids Orisha Songs class that was yesterday. Oh my gosh. It was so fun. Mama Lily, who's been sharing since May, just like Imani, Mama Lily has been sharing. Thank you. ABL, I'm going to say it wrong, but ABL Resik. I said it wrong. AB.
AB. Oh, the coach.
Abdullah Resik.
El Siraj.
El Siraj. I'm going to keep trying, AB.
Hey, you're trying. You know what? You're trying. You're doing it. That's the most we can say. That's the most we can ask for. It's braver than me. Sometimes I see a name that I can't pronounce. I'm just like, I'm not going to butcher that name out of respect. It's less. It's a, you know, no, it's not necessarily respect. Respect is for me to try and say it right and allow for them to correct me. At least I'm putting the effort to honor the name. Oh, I learned so much about just how saying someone's name and calling on their family as a form of praising them is how you give thanks in some of our languages and some of our cultures on the continent. So that's another thing I learned from this week. So yes. Thank you for your time, and thank you for promoting and for coaching and for giving your wisdom and setting the tone for us starting Africa Week 2020, this reunion, building, capturing the moment and building momentum.
Yes. And if we're forgetting to thank you, we will do more thank yous later, but if we're forgetting to thank you, we still are learning how to read things in the back of our Facebook Facebook insight.
Instagram for Ines Ajabain, African Unicorn. Thank you for spreading the message on Instagram, dealing with these gifts and all the weird things that you've done for us on IG. Thank you for tagging people. If you're not following us on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook, if you haven't consciously clicked that like button on Facebook, please do so now. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching this later, please take a pause, go back to our page and check that like button is clicked. Because Alexandra had to go back as far back as May.
Oh my God. I didn't know. See, I didn't know because I just learned this for my own Facebook page as well. I didn't realize because we've had thousands and thousands of people come through. I did not know that people didn't, if you liked a video or you commented, I was like, oh, then they like the page, right? No, they have to actually physically also like your page. So I went back through our videos of 5 events and was looking and found that there were hundreds of people who were like engaging and liking stuff, even some people who were sharing stuff and looking at like on Facebook, it shows you they invite, like, share or whatever, invite. And there are hundreds of people who didn't even know to like the page yet. So I'm like inviting. I spent 2 nights. I didn't even get through all of them because our old feeds were 8 hours long.
Favorite voice notes, because that's definitely a voice note that I wish I could share with people. She sent me a voice note having a meltdown. She said, I just realized all these people who have been coming through and sharing since May don't actually like the page. They like the video. They like they share the specific panel that they're watching, but they don't like the page. So when we say we had 44,000 people come through in May, but then we only have 1,000 people liking the page, that's why.
We couldn't figure it out. We were like, this doesn't make sense. Like sometimes there's like 600 comments. Where are they coming? What? Look, Dima and I don't know how to use Facebook. This is why we keep asking for people to help us. We don't know how to use Facebook. I've been on Facebook doing my own business for 6 or 7 years, and there are still very basic things that people are like, you don't know how to do this? And I'm like,
I just learned how to schedule a post yesterday.
I didn't know you didn't know how to schedule a post. That it makes our conversations from the past make more sense right now.
through social media. It is why I honor you the way I do. Well, one of the reasons I honor you the way I do, because just I see just, technology, and it changes things on me. And like, it'll be one way, and then I refresh, and the entire setup of the page changed, and then I'm just gonna get angry, and I'm gonna have a full-fledged conversation with a page that changed, and the page doesn't understand me because it's a bunch of zeros and ones that I just don't know. So anyway, I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not interested in being good at. That's just not me. So, family, if you know someone who knows how to run Facebook pages or knows how to, schedule these like posts and can take this off of Alexandra's hands, and I say Alexandra's because I'm being very, very honest. No.
Yeah, Alexandra's not really going to be doing it anymore. So we do need somebody.
Yeah, because
I can do it, but I don't want to, and I don't like to. And there's so many other things I have to do for Africa Week. So we need somebody because no one will do it anymore.
saying I just did like the page and I made a recommendation.
Yay! Thank you. You know what? We should also thank people who there was quite a few people who maybe were in our events before, but then maybe they couldn't make it or they could make it. We had recommendations from people who brought others, like Trinity Brown was in an event from before, Black Woman, I Promise You, the poetry hour that we did, the poetry 2 hours we did. And she recommended Daniela Shea, who brought her whole group in that was doing Ancient Future Unity. She had a whole women's circle on Monday. So thank you, Daniela Shea. And thank you, Trinity Brown. Thank you, Momalele.
Yes.
For bringing in, what was the name of the Language is Power, which had to have a second session.
Panel, go and unmiss it now. The people, the brains that she brought into that space to have this conversation that had us all engaged in it in a way that we had to have a callback, and we had a follow-up panel for it. Although it was 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, we had it anyway. Go and watch it, because we were so blessed in that follow-up presentation, in that follow-up session, to have a presentation about African language scripts and text. It was outstanding. Go and look at what our scripts look like, what African languages sound and look like, and why we must go back to learning our languages.
Yes.
It was such a powerful conversation. Mo Malele, that and her being on that hot air balloon and that piece that she read, Why I Write.
Momalele from South Africa, Ronell also from South Africa, who continues to bring people into and appear in our sessions.
Yes, she held her own session, the Global Citizenship. What is global citizenship? We're very thankful for that. We're very grateful to you keeping to in that respect. Also, Joey Zaza for introducing us to the Queen, to his mom, and Bobbin Lace, and his sister Ali for the bags that she made. This was such a light-hearted but lovely and wonderful conversation way to start the morning. Again, if you can't be there, send your people. If you can't come through, send your family to come through, because ultimately we are all family and we're just here to get connected.
Yes. Saba speaks. Saba?
Yes. Who, by the way, was connected to us by Tara, and Tara has been...
Tara is always in support.
Tara's showing up, tuning in, sharing, sending her love, sending her energy, connecting us to people who we need to hear from, people who need to hear from us. That's exactly what she did. She tagged Saba to our Black Woman, I Promise You piece, and then Saba and I connected for this, and then Saba came and brought her sisters on. So this is what we're here to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we do what we do. Who else?
Queen Mother Imaku, who always consistently is like, I'm ready, let's go. I want to even, she ended up doing 3 sessions with her. She'll do a concert tonight, but she did yoga, and during the whole yoga session, she had a timer, and the timer was a TikTok clock. It was during a yoga session, and so the whole time it was going tick, tick, tick the whole time. And I thought, because like everybody has their own thing, you know, everybody has who am I to say, hey, are you sure I should have, but in the end I was like, oh, this is a new thing she's doing, okay. And so the whole time there's a clock right next to the speaker, tick tick. I was like, okay, I'm into it. And I just kind of like got into it. I was like, all right, tick 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 tick, you know. And then at the end, somebody goes, do you know your clock was on the whole time? She goes, oh. And so she called us back and was like, in addition to the other thing I'm doing, I would like to do the yoga session over. And so she did the whole yoga session over without the ticking clock.
We give thanks to the determination to do it right, and to show up to our family and give our family only the best, whenever and however we are capable.
Yes.
A big thanks to Mazen and Wafa, who came and tuned in, who have continuously tuned in. I think Mazen has so far been on every one of our Africa Week 2020 reunions. I believe he showed up for all of them, if not on
I
the
think so
program,
too.
at least for the family hour. And he took full advantage of the Ubuntu Fellowship, signed up with 2, myself and Abdul Wahab, and you know, is always on the lookout for more. So, and managed to also bring on board people who will support and provide opportunities for other fellows who are looking and interested specifically in cultural heritage preservation. So if this is something that you are interested in, let us know. Here is the link to know more about the Ubuntu Fellowship. And if you're interested in having an info session, reach out to us. Here's the emails on the ticker on the bottom there. Email us, in the subject, put info session, Ubuntu Fellowship info session. And yeah, we'll get something ready to answer your questions and pair you with a fellow or a coach or a mentor, depending on what you're looking for.
We cannot forget the oasis of wisdom, our brother from the Caribbean, Beto Torrance.
Yes, yes. Beto.
He just texted me. He said, I just woke up. I needed some sleep. He's sad that he missed Bomba, but you know he's going to come back and watch that and share it in a watch party. Beto, on top of doing his own dream concert with one of his great mentors and brothers, musicians and dancers, that's separate from Africa Week, which we did share into Africa Week. On top of doing all of that work and all the things he has going on, it's a really busy time for him. He still, every time he saw something come up, he'd share it and do watch parties to his Facebook and to his communities, and comment when he could and get involved when he could. And Beto, again, this is a story we love to tell. Beto came in from a friend of a friend from me. Beto, I asked him to come in May, and then he loved what was going on. And as Dima says, it went from him going to be part of one thing to like 3-4 things, and then a partner for the next thing that we did. And then he brought his whole family in, including Ivelisse, who's here right now, who is still high from this morning. Then Ivelisse came in and started doing sessions with us. She brought in her whole family. If you want to see what sisterhood is, if you want to see what it is to support each other, well, go look at that. Go view that session.
Yes,
the Women of Revolution. And Deeba and I were just talking about, like, where do we want to put our focus? We want to put our focus on people who are sharing, people who continue to bring to the table. We want to put our focus on those people. I'll tell you what, I woke up 5 minutes in to Bombo Remember Revolution, all of Elisa's family and everything were already sharing. It was like 60 shares already, getting their message out all over the place. That's a family.
Yes.
We want to build that here. Look at the love between Elisa and Beto. I love it.
It's so wonderful. And shout out to Joey Zaza, who kept taking my passive aggressive forms of abuse at him for not coming through with a panel. And just because he did say he'll show up, Joey Zaza now has a panel on our calendar at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on hip hop. What's the title? It's Hip Hop, the Rhythm of the Thoughts of the Inner City. Be there for it. Show up, come through. Thank you, Joey Zaza, for holding that panel and for taking in good spirit my passive aggressive comments to you and understanding that it's coming solely out of love. I do want to say the quote I got from Joey Zaza, who joined me this morning in What's Right with Africa session. Sometimes the best place to start is a mistake. Marissa squeals in delight. And Ivelisse is here to build with us. Yes.
Bombera. We had what was new for Africa Week this time around, this year, this time around was we had live cooking. Dima and I have been talking about this for a long time. How do we get live cooking? We had a few live cooking people signed up. One turned into more of an interview, Akadi, here in Portland, Oregon, which I will be ordering from today. And my other favorite restaurant in Portland, Bede Lucas, Peter Tesfu. Look, it is not easy to get a chef to share like their creation. That's their creations, and it's like culturally tied in, and sometimes very much spiritually tied in. And this is one of their best dishes and my favorite dishes. And this is one of the top restaurants in Portland. And he came in. He doesn't give recipes to people. He came in and did the whole recipe of Yekekalicha, Ethiopian Yekekalicha, online for us. What a great way to start cooking on Africa Week 2020. That was a big highlight for me because that really, I've been trying to cook Yekekalicha for years.
Did you get, was it a show and tell? Were you cooking with him as he was showing?
No, but I surprised him because when we had done our tech rehearsal the day before, he said, "You're going to have to eat before this because you're going to be so hungry at the end of this." And so what I did before we started was I cooked some Yekekalicha. So at the end, he was like, "See, are you jealous?" And I had my bowl of Yekekalicha, and I was like, "I have some."
Troll.
Yeah. And he talked about some really interesting history about trade and stuff, and trade in Ethiopia and some of the customs in Ethiopia as well. So I really appreciated that. It was really special.
I was very excited about that because we learned so much just from what's being done in the kitchen, what goes into our system, and also just being mindful of what's going into our system. So these conversations are things that I feel we need to be seeing more of, but also to promote our cuisines and our diversity in our flavors. And so I loved seeing that. I loved seeing them come through. Was sad to see the chef from from Ghana not have worked through, but more to come. You now know this is a possibility. Mark your calendars and join us.
Let's talk about sort of the things that we're looking for, the things that we're looking, besides sharing, share, we're looking for volunteers. We need volunteers, everybody. We need volunteers to keep this going. You know, I'm going to put this up real quick and then we'll come back.
Out of my head, Alexandra. I was going to look for it.
I don't know, but this is the thing. It's kind of like this. It's like this is run by two people, and then we have all of you coming to co-create with us. But really, for it to keep going, we need people to help us maintain the structure that people can actually engage with and absorb and can travel and can have some driving traffic to the page. There's a whole bunch of stuff that Dima and I need to do, have to do, and things that we have to learn. And we also are very aware of what our limitations are, and we've been doing a lot of stuff that are like far beyond our limitations, and it's just not sustainable. The way we're doing it right now is not sustainable, to be really honest. This is not sustainable. So we do need help in these specific ways. We love the help we're getting with the shares. We love that you're coming. Oh my gosh, what we're learning, the wisdom, the healing, but we also need people to help us with these structures. We need an amplifier. We need somebody to help us get things out there, like somebody to help share into groups that are interested in what we're doing. Some people to reach out to all of our past guests and our past presenters that says, hey, did you know this is going on? In my dream of dreams, we've been reaching out to you 3 weeks ago on a regular basis, posting all the time in the Facebook, doing teasers, cutting together some of the videos of us laughing in different panels, showing some of the bloopers, taking, we're trying to post some of the quotes, but taking out people actually saying the quotes of the videos, sharing those across the board, doing 30. I mean, there's so many things we can do. We just don't have the capacity. We need somebody to help us with that. We need a maestro or maestra to bring together a team of volunteers that can help us in the running of the event. If there are any close calls this weekend, who is the backup for Dima? Alexandra. Who's the backup for Alexandra? Dima. And the way our schedule was, like a lot of times we were sleeping when the other one was going. So we need people to help us in the actual event itself. Who puts out the fires? Dima or Alexandra. And we're happy to do it, but we also know that is not sustainable. And we have admitted to each other quite a bit in the last couple months that not only is it not sustainable, but we're both not totally willing to do it at the capacity we were doing. We actually admitted we're not willing to consistently do it at this capacity anymore. So
it's not even about willing to do it. We cannot do it. Like I collapsed. I actually I didn't listen to Tata or Abdul Wahab AB. I hear you now. I didn't listen, and I collapsed. And we,
look, if you feel, and this is the thing Imani just brought up, I'm thought about volunteering, but I'm not very tech savvy for the live broadcast. That's fine. Imani shares a lot. So this is the thing. If you feel see the vision and you feel what we're saying and you're like, gosh, I wish, but there's so many ways. If you can't volunteer, share. If you see the Black Boomers panel and you're like and you know Black Boomers, or you are part of groups that on Facebook or social media would really like this conversation, make it a point to share a couple things into there. That is a great help to us. It's tremendous.
If you are open to learn, like Imani's saying she would need a tutorial, that's fine. And it's the same thing what we said with the Ubuntu Fellowship. If you are interested in the concept and want to know more, all you need to do is tell us, I would help with this. I would help with this. I would do that. You just need to give me guidance on how to do it. We'll have a session. We'll have an info session, a training session if need be, and do it, because ultimately you would be allowing us to keep growing, and that's what we're here for.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we're talking about how we can, the ideas on the table of how can we slow down until we have these people, because we're at the boundaries of our capacities. So you help us grow, just like Dima said. We also need an ambassador, and that is outreach. you know, what's happening right now, especially since we're online, and I think that we're going to be online a lot more in the coming, at least for the winter. Uh, what is happening is groups are coming together to form wave sharing. I don't know if you've heard of this, but wave sharing is when if one group goes live, all the groups share. It would be awesome if there was some sort of version of this that we could participate in as Africa Week with 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 other aligned groups online. It's something that's been batted around and talked about. It would be great if we could create this place, Africa Week 22, to be something where things are constantly shared from other groups, and they're constantly sharing from us, or doing live shows together. We need an ambassador to reach out. We need an ambassador to reach out and let people know about big events. And especially when we strive to do a 24/7 event and we don't have anybody to really fill in the part of where Dima and I are sleeping. We asked, but we didn't have the time or the space to really go and find somebody to fill that in a way that an ambassador could for us. So there's a lot. We need somebody to be a spokesperson for us and help. And if you know, if it's you or you know somebody that might be good at this, then let us know. These are the things that we are specific. Oh, and there's Bisu. Bisu is our editing manager. Bisu lives with me. Usually Bisu is sitting in my lap. Today he's not, because it's very cold and they won't get out of the duvet. But Bisu is almost in every video you've ever seen me. Bisu is sitting like right here or sitting right here. And I think I might even have a picture. Hold on. I got a new picture. I don't know if you've seen the new picture of Bisu editing Africa with me in Africa Week.
It's just not added on this. It's not added on this one. It might be. Oh my God! Yes, there. Wait, hang on. Yeah, you can't make that up.
There we go. There's Bisu watching. And then we also have another animal helper. Everybody should know. Where is it? Donut.
Hi, Donuts. Donuts being late today. I think it has something to do with it being cold. But Donut is excellent support and giver of love. Also, alarm in case he feels the snooze coming on. Was great help that night. We did the all-nighter. Yes, yes, yes.
I love those eyes. So we do have some volunteers, but Bisu and Donut are more like managing and reminders. They don't know how to like post things. I asked Bisu to schedule things. It didn't work out. So I mean, everybody has their strength. And that's how we're willing to work with our volunteers. That's how we work with Bisu and Donut. They have their strengths. We need, what we've just been talking about. So I did put a link there for those of you for volunteers. Future presenters. Look, we are so blessed. We started with Dima asking a small percentage of people she knew, and me asking a small percentage of people I knew. Those people then brought in people. Those people then brought in more people. Some of those people return. Some of them will sit out for one and come back for another. Some of those people will do multiple sessions. Momolele did that. Ronella did that. Mazen did that. Nadasula did that. Queen Amaku did that. Once you're part of the family, like we want you to keep coming back. So if you want to
different hats, because we understand you're not just doing one thing. In fact, none of us is just doing one thing.
Nope.
Come back with all your hats. Come back with all you do. Whether you are growing plants, Joey Zaza, I'm talking to you. Whether you are doing martial arts, talking hip hop, just sharing memories, whatever it is you are doing, you have something to bring to this family, and it's not just one thing. So bring them all, bit by bit, however you're comfortable with them. One thing I really love that was different about this time, which Alexandra bringing in this conversation with the Black boomers, such wisdom and such an integral part of this dialogue, of this family, having our elders share and remind us that it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago. And also I want to say, Dima and I talked about, people had said this, and Dima and I talked about it. Like, we're listening to you. What could come to Africa Week? What would be important? And one of the things that kept coming up was, we need to have elders in our space. We need to have more elders in our space. And here we are at event 5, and we have that.
And we are unlearning events. We are having
Reunion.
Yes.
This is reunion event, reunion 5. And now we had several spaces in which elders dominated the space. And we also want to bring in our youth. We've had, the youth poetry sessions. We've had youth storytelling. We also want to bring in more youth. We had some youth stories, things for kids at this event. We'd like to hear the wisdom from the kids as well, and see what they're creating.
See what they're looking for, see what they're interested in. We had AB's Little Kings join us for one of the unicorn version of What You See Coming in Africa. And we asked them, would you move there? No. We need to know why that's a no. We need to know why that's an immediate no, if it's a no. And if it's a yes, we need to know why that's a yes. Like Aquila, Ronald's daughter, who, when you ask her, what's Africa to you? And she says, it's home, and I don't want to be anywhere else. We need to be able to connect that and give them that platform to share with us, or to ask their questions. Because you know what? We asked questions yesterday. So Alexandra's mom asks all these whys. And then, it's passed on to us. The more they see us ask questions, the more they ask questions, because they understand that that's how we learn.
Yeah. So we're going to keep moving on, and we're going to talk about streaming partners and show partners, especially for the season coming up. We're ready to lend this platform, not just for our day-long events, reunions, not just for our week-long reunions, but for things that you are doing that's in alignment with what we're doing here. So if you have something going on and you hashtag us Africa Week 2020, we'd like to share it. But we'd also like to make agreements with groups, with shows you have going on, with if you're doing something regularly, or if you want to try something new out and you want a place where you can get some feedback, we want to bring it to this platform, and we want to start creating a family, like we said before, that big ups each other and passes on the message to each other. The way that we can get our messages out there, the way that we can, a lot of us are doing nonprofits and businesses that need support. The way that we can lift each other up and support each other is by creating a community and sharing. And so we want to encourage people, and we want to have agreements with people so that we can tell each other's communities, this is what's coming, this is what's to expect, get energy into what's coming out, help each other, take some of the burden that it takes to get our messages out there. So I just put the link from our website to, if you have ideas, if you have a community online community that you'd like to bring to the platform, and that you'd like to bring us to your platform, please contact us. If you have a regular show, like my 6T interviews, 6T is over there doing 6T things, but you'll start seeing them come up in Africa Week. By the way, I just talked to Yvette, and Yvette's birthday is coming, and she wanted to do a 6T, and it's going to be in the morning. So there's going to be another 6T stream tomorrow morning, actually, because it's late tonight. Today's 20. Yeah. So it's late tonight. So there's actually going to be a 6T streamed tomorrow morning. And so you'll see 6Ts come into Africa Week 2020, not as a part of a large reunion that we're doing. That's something that's available to you. Do you have a show that you're doing? And I keep encouraging Dima, I feel like Dima, you need a show, and I don't know what the show is. Kandaka or Dima the governor, or whatever it is.
I'm with my
Dima needs this regular show.
I think I'm okay. But so many conversations coming out of this week alone warranted a return in the form of a show. The African Unicorns conversation warrants a return because we need the African Unicorn version of what's coming to the continent and what's coming out of the continent, and featuring the positive, the magic that is coming out of our people. The discussions that we had as far as science diplomacy and the Pan-African research landscape, and also connecting the dots between media coverage and conflict resolution. I'm really hoping some seeds were planted with Jihad, and that he'll be coming back with something. You just need to let us know how often, how frequently you want to be having these conversations. Because if you're just toying with the idea and you'd like to see if it'll gain traction, we're here for it. Bring it to the family, see their reaction, see if that's something they might be interested in, and you might start it from there. That's how 6D started. So 6D was a conversation of, okay, I want to be able to follow the journeys of these people that she was bringing. Alexandra was bringing people into Africa Week 2020 whose journey inspired her, and she wanted to learn more about it, and it started as a conversation to that effect. And from there it started being something that what you had from the first one. I think you had 16 from our inaugural one.
Yep, and I've done one at almost every event since then, and now I'm scheduled almost till the end of the year with people.
Yeah. So that's something. And Saba Speaks Solidarity was the same thing. Saba started as, it's like, oh, well, I don't know what I'll be talking about. I was like, talk about your journey. Talk about your journey about being the accidental activist, and then start featuring, start uplifting, because that's what Alexandra's doing. Alexandra's in learning about these other people's journeys. She's also uplifting the work that they're doing. She's also promoting the work that you're doing. So in doing that, we're also supporting one another. And Saba joined the virtual co-working space that first night, and in the conversation just started the Google Doc and started putting names of people that she would bring into a platform that would be called Saba Speaks Solidarity. Think about these other people's groups. All these things are the ideas are there. All you need to do is let us know how we can navigate them. If we're able to stream them, because if we have that partnership, then Africa Week 2020 would be able to be, a manager or an editor on your page. Then we're able to share these things on your page and ours. You get more viewership, you get more responses and more engagement from people and more feedback to the work that you're creating. Even if you're just working your research, you just want to share your research with us. Please, we need to know all that's coming out of our people. Even if you don't think anyone's going to be interested in it, I assure you we will. I know it doesn't look like we have that much of a following because we weren't aware that we needed to remind people to like the page. We're going to work on that. But in the meantime, know that we have not had one reunion that was less than 2,000 people at any one given time. It just didn't happen. Every single time we have come together, we were at least 2,000 people coming together. You're muted, Alexandra.
Yes, and also we're reaching all corners of the earth. We had people signing up from Zimbabwe. We had connections with the Philippines, and I mean, people coming from. Somebody mentioned a country that I hadn't even heard of. I got to look it up again. It was one of the panels from the beginning of the week. I can't. Beginning of the week feels like a couple weeks ago. The last thing I want. Hey, Beto.
Hola. even my voice sounds like I'm sleepy still.
And before we officially welcome Beto in again, I just want to say, please, now that we are writing emails, please join our mailing list. Oh, it's so important to join the mailing list. I put it in the comments right here. The reason it's so important is that, again, nothing is promised, and we don't know how long or what restriction will be on these 3 platforms that we're using. And so please stay connected with us. If we are ever in a situation where very important messages need to go out, not just about Africa Week 2020, but important messages need to go out that people are hearing over here in this side of the world, and people are understanding in this side of the world and are healing themselves with this side of the world, or how to protect themselves in a situation from this side of the world, we will let you know about it. So please join our mailing list. We won't spam you, but you will hear from us, and you want to talk to us. You want to respond.
And if you do feel spammed, you do have the option to unsubscribe.
Yeah, you could do that.
But the point is, how are you going to know that we're planning these things ahead of time? Because as we said, as much as we plan it ahead of time and say we will have volunteers who will help facilitate, so we will reach out early enough, what ends up happening is people say, yes, we're here for it. And then till a month before the event, we realize, actually, no one's here for it. And then, okay, Sandra, you'll take X, Y, and Z. Dima will take A, B, and C, and that will do that. And then who will tag who? And so it continues, and it's a cycle. So please join that list.
I promise I'll be around for the next one.
No, it's too late, Beto. You broke our heart.
I promise I will be around for the next one.
You shared, you joined, and as I told you yesterday, and as I'll tell you again, and as I've been telling you before, we're here in spirit. There's a reason we call you the soul brother, and the reason we call you your voices of wisdom.
Yes, I was proud and excited and just happy to see a lot of the family that we brought together, from Puerto Rico come in.
Yeah.
The Plena Combativa thing, it was amazing. I'm deeply sorry that I missed the Bomba women this morning. I'm sure that must have been super powerful. I will watch it later because I do want to see what this powerful woman had to say about it. These women are women that I respect profoundly, and women that I learn from at a daily basis. Each and every one of these women have an amazing, yes, Imani, Ashe, an amazing power, innate power to create things, and that power is called Ashe. All of them possess it. So yeah, I'm happy about that, and I'm super happy that I did come in, or at least watched yesterday's Black Boomers session.
Yes.
That was so important and so inspiring, and it was just a beautiful panel. So I want to thank all those people that were part of those panels for teaching us about ourselves. It was really amazing. I love watching your mom, Alessandra, do her thing, man.
We had to drag her online. We had to drag her online one day, and then she's like, "Do you really want me to sit on a panel?" Blah blah blah. I have to get my dad. I have to get Isaac to get my lighting, all this stuff. And then at the end of it, she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it again."
Awesome. They should.
Yeah.
For sure. That was amazing. But yeah, I'm happy that I know it as always is a successful because you touch some people's souls, and that's what success is to me. I don't know. I just feel strange not having been here 24/7 with you all. You know?
You have jealous. Can I just say, sorry to interrupt, but before we move away too far away from the panel, the Bomba Revolution.
Yes.
Can we just have a drum roll here for a second? Because this panel 1,200 views so far. This is 3 hours ago. 1,200 views so far. That's what we mean by showing up. This is also why women need to run the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Putting
I mean,
it up.
I think you do already, you know, in another aspect. So, you know.
And the level of engagement, 476.
Awesome.
And that's just on one of the platforms that we have. That's just on one of the pages that we have. When you think of that power, when you think, I mean, Ashtay, the power of women, when we think that we have the ability to come together like this, 1,200 people came together to join, to hear, to listen to our women, to be reminded of the revolution, to be reminded of why we do what we do. I mean, please send all the hugs and love to Ibeliz if you're still here, for bringing together your tribe, for bringing together these women.
Yeah. It was quite a powerful. I saw the group. You know, you had super Jedi's over there, Marianne, and you know, Melanie, and all these people. They just. I was super especially happy to see Minirka on it. I don't know if they talked about it today, but Minirka battled for her life. In the last months, she spent like, I don't know how many months in the hospital battling for her life. And it's just amazing to see her come back. I knew she was going to make it. I knew she was going to make it because just like 1,000 people showed up for this panel, 1,000,000 souls showed up for her time of need. But yeah, Minirka went in to do a procedure, like one of those, you come in and you're out the same day. And I don't know, 6 months later, she's still in the hospital or something like that. So I'm just super happy to see her back. I love her dearly. She's a very loved sister from before Bomba, but also her son is my student. Her son, Kairel, is one of my best students. He's 12. He's been my student since he was 7. He can play drums like, yeah. He's the real thing. Actually, he called me this week because we haven't seen each other in a while. He's like, hey, man, what the hell? You know, I need class.
Don't we all? Better, we all need classes. We need to look into having some actual virtual drumming classes.
Yes, let's do it. I'm ready. I mean, I can do it anytime. We can schedule it with Africa 2020 anytime that you like, and we'll do some lessons. What's that?
I said I feel a streaming partnership coming up.
We need sunset drumming back.
Yes.
That sunset drumming thing you were doing was it was giving me life. It was right when our systems were saying you can't leave your house anymore. You know, you have to stay home. And some people were under curfew and some people were just not going out. And I just every afternoon it'd just be like Beto with the sunset.
Yeah, I miss it too, you know. But I'm thankful. I'm blessed that I am able to teach. I'm teaching one-on-one classes here at my studio, and I got a bunch of students. So it's like my days are packed. but I would love to do some more sunset sessions. I'm getting, a lot of people say that it was healing, and like I said before, it was healing to me too. Are you musically challenged? Well, we all can do percussion because we all have a drum inside of our bodies. It's called the heart, the acocan. It's a constant rhythm. That so nobody is rhythm challenged because you will be dead.
Truth.
So your heart is your drum. So you do have rhythm inside of you. You just have to connect. Boop. And that is possible. I've seen some musically challenged students come out and play their hearts out. So it's always possible. So yeah, I would love to do some classes, some workshops, and there's some other people that we can, so the family can keep growing, some other perspectives on the same thing, because like I said, I could play a rhythm that is called a juba for y'all, and then Ibelis can come in and play that same rhythm, and it's gonna sound a bit different. And then Marianne's gonna come in and she's gonna play it, and it's gonna sound a bit different, even though it's exact same pattern, exact same rhythm, because we are unique, each of us. We are all unique pieces of one big thing. So each one of us is gonna have a different expression on the same. So if I say hola, it's gonna sound different than if you say hola, but it has the same effect. So yeah, I would love to teach some and get some other people to come in. Joey says, I remember your blue congas, man. I remember those back in the day.
Blue congas.
Oh my gosh, Joey Sasa had these old like 60s from the 60s. So it's these drums from the 60s. There are fiberglass tumbadoras conga drums that had like legs inside that you would pull out so you could stand up and play.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
Oh my God, yeah.
They're always ready.
Really beautiful drums,
That's always right.
I'm a drum hoarder and collector, so I get a kick out of it. I don't know. I think I'm like a drum magnet. Drums keep coming into my house somehow.
Pero, do you have a talking drum? Have you ever played one of these?
I do not have one of those. I do not own one. Well, I owned one, but it came apart. Came apart. So I gotta reskin it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
when Brock was talking about these, I got inspired to try again.
Yes, that's amazing drum. I mean, it's part of the talking drums family. Like I always said, all drums speak. All drums have a language.
Yeah.
But those drums, like the tama in particular, are similar to bata drums, originally from Nigeria, and then the Afro-Cuban version of the bata drums also are talking drums, and they actually say words.
Yeah.
And that is very powerful. That is why those drums are a connection, like an instant connection with the ancestors, and with all the power forces of nature. It's like instant, because it's that they speak that language. I would love to learn that stuff. I tried it once, but I need some lessons.
Friends, we have like 10-ish minutes left.
Tell us what you feel. What was your favorite session from what you've been attended so far this week? Um, we know we again gotten messages saying too many. We have too many things going on. We can't keep up. Well, the beauty is they stay on our page, so you can watch them. There's a bit of a feedback.
Dima, you're breaking up a little bit, but I think what you're saying is there was a whole bunch to have be.
Sorry, I was trying to mute myself.
I think you're asking what our favorites are, right? Even though there was so many to choose from that were amazing.
That's exactly what I was saying. I was saying that we got some message. We again got messages saying, you know, you have too much going on. We can't keep up. But the good thing is they are staying on the page and you can go back and watch them. And as you watch them, like, tag, share, tag your people to these things so that we're able to have more and generate more. If there's a follow-up for one of the conversations that you saw that you feel like you would like to dissect a little deeper, go into, continue discussing, working on, joining forces with the people working on them, that's when to do it. But in the meantime, of the things you have tuned into, tell us what's been your favorite.
Yes.
What's something that was missing, something that you feel we could do more of, some things you feel we should do less of. How can we find a way to share these videos and share the music in a way that Facebook will not stop us? Because we did get some music in for the African Grooves show that we were hoping to put on, but even that we weren't able to play because Facebook stopped the live stream because they were things that were already on SoundCloud or you know, the playlist the DJs have arranged them in a way that they're already on SoundCloud, so they were blocked because it's something that's pre-existing.
Here's also another way to come see the videos if you felt overwhelmed by the Facebook. You can go to YouTube and watch our videos, but also if you join our mailing list and you will get the password to our archive and you can see the videos, or I'll be putting the videos there. Okay, so I'll say, of course, as I said before, Bede Lucas. Bede Lucas was, and I'll go briefly because I know we don't have a lot of time. Bede Lucas was one of my favorite things because it's a dream. It's been a struggle of me trying to cook a kikalicha for 2 years or more now, and keep trying to get tips from this restaurant. And finally, this chef, one of the best restaurants in Portland, was like, "I will cook this dish live for you." That whole journey of getting them, that was a really big deal for me. Having my mom here was also a really big deal. Now my grandmother and my mother have both been on Africa Week 2020, and so I will keep bringing my blood family if they'll come, and I really appreciate seeing the new people bringing their energy and their wisdom, and I love seeing the people who've already been our veterans return and support us. It's all of it. As I hear Beto say all the time, all of it. It's all of it.
It is absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I seen Joe is asking about taste in music. I think it's an interesting question. He's saying, do you think taste in music is a matter of actual taste or a resonance of the music doesn't flow with your natural rhythm on that particular piece? Well, Joey, I think I think it's about connection. Obviously, like everything, is about connection. So is it actual taste or is it that resonance? I think it's that resonance. If you take somebody and play a specific music that they had never heard before, they will move in a certain way that makes sense. If you play reggae to a person that has never listened to reggae before, they will probably move like reggae moves. If you play bomba to somebody that has never heard bomba in their life, they will probably move in a bomba way. So I think it's about connection. Sometimes you connect with with certain sounds or certain rhythms, and from there you keep going back to it, and that's how you get your taste. Oh, this is what I listen to. But if you check out my set list, you'll see all kinds of music. You know, I see all kinds of music. Uh, it's music that I connect with. So I don't know. I think, yeah, I think it has to do with like you say, it's a scientific thing. It's it music is designed in a certain way to affect certain emotions and certain chakras or energetic areas. It depends on the type of music. It's gonna flow, higher, mid, or lower, and make you move differently. So yeah, I think you develop that taste. Yeah. Oh, we have to go soon. I don't want to go, man. I'm finally here.
I know.
Your favorite? Let's close on our favorites, and we'll be coming back. We know that. Not October, but we'll be coming back.
Pero you and I have plans to make anyway. You're gonna be in Africa Week 2020 so much. You're gonna need a break.
Good, 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 good.
What you have tuned into? I know you said you liked the Black Boomers panel. Was there anything else that you tuned into that specifically struck you, or you enjoyed, or you want to go back to and watch, I guess, closely?
I think to me, because I always stress about the importance of respect to the elders and about learning from elders. To me, definitely that one panel with the boomers was something else. It was different because sometimes you forget about the past. With everything that's going on, you forget that it's a like everything they were saying, we're living it. It's like when they said, I don't remember her name, but she said about the kids today. Let them be there.
Yeah.
It's their time, and I said, yeah, they are you. So it's an extension of them. Because without them, nothing that is going on today would be possible. So I think that was a really, really important panel for that reason, because we have to honor those who came before us to pave the way for what we are able to do today. You know, so I just want to acknowledge those elders and say that I felt deep love for them. Ada was shedding tears and everything when when we're listening to them speak. It was an inspiration, really. I think that was I give thanks to you for making that one happen. It was much needed. Yeah.
Thank you. For me, again, it's like choosing a favorite child. It's very difficult. They're all, you know, we're looking at all of them. I'm particularly grateful for the eventual manifestation of our partnership with Fusion, for our fusion with Fusion, and Black Man Times stories, BMT stories. If you're not yet following them, please follow BMT stories on Instagram, on Facebook. Fusion came through with the Black Love series, Getting a Taste of Home, Feels Like Home, where he took us on a hot air balloon and we journeyed across the continent and the diaspora, starting in London, but then taking us to South Africa. And what I loved is that in his partnership with us in Africa Week 2020, it gave us the opportunity as Mama and Tata here of Africa Week 2020 to uplift, to give just a glimpse of the genius and the excellence we have in our family. And so all the people who were featured there from Africa Week 2020 were people who came to Africa Week 2020 to share their work. And this is what we said we wanted to do all along. We want to amplify each other because you know what? If we keep waiting for the mainstream media to do it, so that was one of my favorite sessions because it was just one thing after the other. It was one hit of greatness. It was one dosage of it. It was really, really, in so many ways, an overdose of greatness. And at the end of it, we realized that it's just the beginning. That we were just giving him a glimpse, and you should have seen his face. It's like, what do you think? This is just, it's just the start. We have so much more. I love that. I'm so very grateful again to the longest panel and session that we have that ended up being 4.5 hours, bringing in the Quilombo community, their fight, their revolution, breathing life into it, blessing us the way the elders of that Quilombo have, of praying for our family without even knowing us, connecting beyond language because I don't speak the language. They didn't speak English, and we were still able to communicate. Thanks, Kat. Again, thank you if you're listening. Shout out, and just the energy to come. And we're here. We're ready to work. We're doing this work in our Quilombo, in this community, and you're doing this work in Africa Week 2020. Let's just join forces. Let's extend what we're doing, and we're here for it. We're here for that. I really, really appreciated the panel on growing gratitude, the session that discussed all the medicine that we have from Mother Nature. Joey Zaza was hopping in and out of that session, which explains now, because again, he's growing all these plants, but the wisdom that was shared from Wapajea, from Rabia, from Carol, I'm so very grateful to them, and it went beyond gardening. It just went into general health and things that we can get from Mother Nature. And again, so very grateful to that. Off the top of my head, I mean, I can't really. For the people who came back with things that they said they would do, like Mazin said, I'm going to be doing something on maternal health, and he came back with. In May, he said, I'm going to be coming back with something on maternal health, and he came and he delivered. This kind of accountability, this kind of following through was really amazing, and I'm so very grateful for it. And can't wait. I just want more and more and more and more. In a way that allows us to do it.
Yes.
On that note, we have Imani, honor to the past and the future. It's not linear but interconnected. Years and years.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'd like to say a blessing to just for all of our presenters, all of our attendees, and anybody who is watching at any time, to remember to be you, to remember that whatever is going on inside you, it's on purpose. It's part of the revolution. You becoming yourself is part of this revolution. So let it out, be it, share it, tell your story. And also remember to have joy in your life. Laugh in your life. We have so many people here, especially in our Africa Week 2020 family, who are creating the world, who are saving the world, who are fighting for freedom, who are fighting for themselves or their families. Remember to have joy in your life and to smile and to be with your community and your family. It is so important to take care of yourselves. And I bless that you always have the resources so that you can do that and take care of the people around you and to live well, to eat well, to have a roof over your head, to be able to take a vacation if you need to take a vacation, to be able to get the support that you need when you need it, to never have to worry about whether or not you're going to be taken care of. I bless that for everybody who is watching now or later. Ashe, Aleche, bless it.
I want to add messages that I think at the heart of hearts of Alexandra and I, this is what we would want to be leaving the world this year. And these are all quotes that came from the same panel, a panel which I didn't actually thank because it escaped my mind, but I remember the quotes. So the quotes remind me to tell you, go back and watch this panel called Dignity and the Need for Afrocentric Archaeology. We need to be able to discover our history through that lens, through our lens. We need to be doing the digging. We need to be doing the research and the rediscovering and the reclaiming.
Mm.
Our classic introduction at Africa Week 2020 is tell us who you are, tell us what keeps you up at night, and tell us how this family can help you sleep better. Here are some of the things that were said to start. This is Shayla Monroe from that panel called Dignity. And when to answer the question, how can the family help you sleep better? She said, I just need to know that we love each other.
Che.
That's all.
That's plenty.
That's all we are here for. We want you to know we love you. We are here to love each other in all the way love carries the light, the energy, the power, the strength, the unity, the resilience, the revolution. This is what we're sending to you. And in the context of the panel, Shayla Monroe also said, we've taken Afrocentric back. Afrocentric and all it carries, all it means, it's about us and how we see us, how we view us, and not for it to fit anything that is not us, that is not by us, that is not for us as people of African ancestry. And then Deborah heard, we have to love Africa, we have to love African people, and we have to love ourselves as African people. And finally, her feeling of home, saying, anywhere I go that has African people, I am home. Anywhere I go that has African people, I am home. And when we say there is not one reunion which we have come together and that we are less than 2,000 African people, let this be until we are able to come home. In every way and in whatever way home means to you. Let's make sure this home is safe, it's clean, it's clear, it's filled with light, it's filled with love, it's filled with the comfort that we want to feel in our own space. I hope that you carry that feeling with you moving forward until our next reunion. As you keep pressing, because that's definitely one of the messages that came through, we need to keep pressing. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. From that Black Boomers panel, you see that it's the same struggle. It's the same fight. It's the same fight from when they were young. It's the same fight. Yeah, sure. They don't hold a brown bag to see what shade we are to allow us into a space. But they're doing it in other ways today. And we need to be aware of that. And we need to be able to connect that fight. And we need to be able to call on their wisdom and to call on these lessons.
That's the truth.
Sure.
Bless.
Can I say something that is like off, but is at the same time is on the subject? Today is a very, very special day for me because today is my mother's birthday, but also is Ada's mother's birthday. So both my mothers were born on the 27th of September, and I acknowledge them as forces of nature that didn't just give birth to people, but nurtured us, taught us everything that we needed to be taught to be good persons and live the world better. So that is a feat on itself, because you can give birth and then don't do anything about it. But these two women uh, gave all their lives for us and still are doing it. So I just want to acknowledge my madre, Sondra de Brasis, and my other madre, Milagros Joubert. Las amo. These are two of the most important women in my life. Yes.
Love, blessings, birthday wishes.
Yes, yes.
All the love, all the love, all the love. Alexandra, I know you have to start. We have a 60. So, fam, as we said, this is the closing ceremony of Africa Week 2020 is far from being done. And if history teaches us anything, it teaches us that we are never done. Revolution continues, and whether we like it or not, whether we're ready to admit it or not, this here is a revolution, and it's part of the revolution of consciousness. So here is to it not stopping. Stay tuned, refresh your browsers, and come back and see what gems Alexandra has in store for you.
Yes. Ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Gracias.
Big love.
Yeah.
Love, love.
Bye.